In this video, I just wanted to take a quick minute to discuss burnout as a PhD student and burnout in general. I recently just completed a draft for my first chapter of my dissertation. I'm currently in the beginning of my third year of the PhD at the University of Utah. I was able to turn in the first chapter draft, and then immediately after that, this was about a week and a half ago, I started experiencing symptoms of burnout. And for me, what those were, they included low appetite, kind of low energy with regards to attacking things, and kind of wanting to be secluded or isolated. I think this is due to the fact that throughout this year, I've really pushed myself going back to January, and even before that, a year ago, I kind of started a pretty intense grind. And I was busy this summer. I really didn't take a lot of time off. I took a class in July at MIT that was really intense. And then I started my first chapter dissertation in May with regard to programming and coding and designing the logic and experiment for what I was eventually going to run. So I ended up finishing the code beginning of August, and then I got into writing the dissertation and finished that up beginning of October. And as soon as that period hit, I just kind of crashed. I really didn't have a ton of desire to continue working. I even had thoughts of stepping away from the PhD program and taking a break. Those have since subsided. I'm starting to recover, and I'm basically just trying to take a week and not do any work, just kind of focus on hobbies, whether it's Legos, games, or things of that nature, reading and movies, and really just take some time to myself to recover before I get into chapters 2 and 3, as well as the comps that I have to take this spring. So, burnout is a very serious thing. I think a lot of people deal with it, whether you're working a full-time job or if you're in a PhD program. And I think PhD students are definitely susceptible to burnout. The PhD is a very intense experience. I'm not going to say it's harder than working a job, but for me, it's definitely more intense. The cognitive load that you have to take on is very substantial. What I'm doing for my dissertation, I constantly have to learn new things. I'm going to be getting in to deep reinforcement learning chapters 2 and 3, and that's even something that PhDs in computer science don't touch necessarily. Some do, some don't. So I'm really pushing myself, and ultimately that can take a toll. And I wanted to make this video to kind of remind myself to take breaks, as well as show that it is okay to other PhD students if you're getting to the point of burnout, to where you can slow things down, take time for yourself, focus on hobbies, focus on your mental health, and then get back after it when the time comes. I've encountered burnout in other stages of my life. I have a tendency to push really hard for periods of time, and then it ends up kind of biting me in the tail, and then I will end up crashing. So I try to not listen to the thoughts that I have during the period of time where I'm super burnt out, because I know it'll pass. But ultimately, I need to probably have a pace that is more sustainable with regards to what I'm doing. And I'll kind of make mental notes to myself as I continue this PhD process, and even after, to have more harmony and or balance with what I'm doing, and not just go balls to the wall, so to speak, constantly 24/7. As I was finishing up the first chapter, I pulled a lot of all-nighters. I would get a little bit of sleep the following day, but there were a lot of all-nighters, so it wasn't the most healthy way to pursue it. But I get relief when I finish things and can kind of slow down. I have a hard time setting things down. And going forward, I'm going to make a concerted effort to, have more balance, have my hobbies, do my leisure reading, things of that nature. So I want to just share this video because it is something that a lot of PhD students face. And I didn't realize prior to getting into the PhD just how intense of a process it really is and how you can burn yourself out. So I think my advice would be to have a pace with your PhD where you're building in time for your mental health, your spiritual health, physical, working out, getting outside, getting sunshine, and then eating well also. That's pretty much all I have for today's video. Just wanted to kind of check in and let you know how things are going. I really have no complaints. I'm ahead of schedule with my PhD, and I'm excited what the future holds, and I'll keep plugging along. Thank you very much for watching.